I'm Bill. Bill? Dorothy, we talked to the phone. This one for you.
Oh, all right. All right. Is this one over here? No, no. Let's get that one. I see. One of mine up here, you know, yours are 4, 5, 6, 1, 4. That's good.
Right there, he's gonna do it? No, he's not gonna stay there.
My sister bought me a ring socket, tied her black, and then she tied the night carried that over her shoulder.
I would have, if I had one.
It's just darling. I mean, it's a real black and
Hi, I'm Barb Cleaver. This is my husband, Ernie Cleaver. It was Klecker. We're from South Minneapolis.
I'm Marilyn Oatman Shepherd. I live in Columbia Heights. That's Donna Hammerlin Doyle. I live in Minneapolis.
I'm Betty Chase Jacobson, my husband Al.
From where?
There's more.
From Cambridge.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Sandy Wedlin, my husband Jim, and we're real happy to be here and glad that it's finally coming to a head here. Been on the reunion committee, enjoyed working with all these gals, and hope we have a great evening.
Go ahead. Hi, my name's Don Horton, good old South High, still live in Minneapolis. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Patricia Frober, Anton. This is my husband Jim. We're now living in Apple Valley, and I'll turn it over to Joyce.
Hi, I'm Joyce Cantola, and I live in Minneapolis.
Do you say when? Right. Hi, I'm Audrey Mohnhalseth. This is my husband Jerry, and we're looking forward to a good evening. See ya.
Hi, I'm Maureen Anderson. I'm so glad to be here tonight, and this is my husband, Bill Milbrath.
Nice to be here, too.
Yes, we're going to have a good time tonight. We're glad that everybody could be here.
Hi, my name is Bev Freeman Hanna, and I'm just really excited to be here tonight. This has been a wonderful weekend.
Okay, I'm Beth Moe, and this is my husband Jeff. My married name is Tallman now, and I live in Wayzata. Hi, glad to be here.
Yep, looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, you're on.
Margaret Johnson Olson and Art, who graduated the year before. We're living in St. Louis, Missouri. Been there for 15 years. Art retired from the Army after 30 years. And living lots of fun places.
Yes.
But we have 3 children, 33, 31, and 28.
Oh, they won't like that.
Yeah.
Boy, girl.
Right.
I'm Joanne O'Brien Panning. I live in southeast Minneapolis. I have 4 sons, and I'm just tickled pink about the whole thing. And I want to thank everybody who went to all the work. Oh, hi, I'm Marianne O'Sell Whiteside, and this is my husband, Bill Whiteside. Oh, we're from Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Hi, I'm Barbara Augustin, formerly Barbara Dibdahl, and this is my husband, Kurt.
Hi, I'm Kurt Augustin. We live in New Hope.
It's fun to be here and see everybody again.
Hi, this is Dolores and Jerry Lundstrom, and
I'm Dolores Carlson Lundstrom.
Dolores Carlson Lundstrom.
Glad to be here.
And Jerry Lundstrom. We're both from Southern.
My name is Berkeley Hall, and I'm very happy to see all my old classmates. How are you?
Am I supposed to talk now? Hello, I'm Marge Lee Hankin now, and this is my husband Bob Hankin.
Hi.
And this is our 40th class reunion. I can't believe it. Everybody looks so young. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm happy to see everybody again.
Hi, I'm Beverly Willman McKee. This is my husband Jim. We live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is my first reunion I've been back to, and I'm sure I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Zumack Fries, and this is my husband Ronald Fries, and we live in Hastings, Minnesota.
When you start. No.
Okay. My name is Verna Long, and I have my husband Chester with me, and it's a real privilege to be here at this 40th reunion, and I know we're going to have a super duper time. Thank you.
Is it going? Okay. Joan Horton Benson, this is my husband Stan, and we're living in California, and it's really neat to be here. Thanks.
Now, we are Katie and Tom Hurt Bondi, Spicer, Minnesota.
Tenney, former physical education teacher. I am Dorothy Tenney, former physical education teacher at South. I am living at the present time in Pine City, Minnesota, and I'm down here as a guest to the class of 49. I'm very happy to be here, and I feel very good. Thank you.
And this is my wife, Judy, and we're both still living in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis. Thank you.
Anna Johnson Buckman. I live in South Minneapolis.
I'm Arlene Ascom Harvey, and I live in Richfield.
I'm Yvonne Bossart Heinke. This is my husband, Tom. We live in Minneapolis.
I used to be Elaine Quigley. I'm now Elaine Qualley, and this is my husband, Gordon Qualley. And there's some big boob making a face at me. We live in Minneapolis still, South Minneapolis.
I'm Lyon Westland, and this is my husband, Whitey, and we now live in Burnsville.
I'm the other half, and I live in Burnsville with her.
Do this to me. I get conned into this all the time. Come on, Edie. Edie likes to talk.
How wonderful. We'd like to thank the committee. They've done a fantastic job, and may I greet Joyce Wendland.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all again after all these many years. And now, my friend Margaret from Palm Springs, here especially for this occasion. Margaret? Just a little shy.
Shy.
She's shy. So I'll give it off to...
I'm Joan Pollard Butler, and this is my husband, Jerry. We're very happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm Margaret McGinnis Morgan. I'm here with my husband, Dave, and we live in Minnetonka.
Eleanor Barrett Monham, and this is my husband, Jerry Monham. We're from Richfield, Minnesota.
This is John French from Minneapolis.
Hi, I'm Dory Papin, who's from St. Cloud, and this is my sister, Marge Brinzer from Kansas City, and my niece, Kathy Brinzer from Kansas City.
We are Roger and Carol Kemp. We are from Atlanta and Minneapolis. And we're going to make it again next 10 years. 10 years from now? Five. Next 5 years, we're here.
I'm Lowell Larson from Minneapolis, and this is my wife, Lou. We're very happy to be here tonight. We have 4 children, and it's a good thing to see all these new old acquaintances again.
It's a 49. I'm still living in Minneapolis, working for Family and Children's Services, a human service person. Thank you.
Dorothy Anderson Partridge. This is my handsome husband, and we live in Bloomington, and we have 6 children. It's absolutely a delight to be here. I can't wait until we boogie on down. Thank you.
Joanne Wetstein Hessel. This is my husband, Don Hessel. Live in New Brighton. Have 4 children, 10 and 3/4 grandchildren, and that's it.
I'm Jeanette Madsen, and I live in Delano with my husband John, and we just married our 7th child off, and we have 17 grandchildren.
My name is Ann Romaine Crothers, and I have 4 children, all grown up.
And this is the third reunion I've come to. I came to the 15th and the 30th and now the 40th.
I work for Honeywell. I've been an industrial photographer the last 20 years. My home is in Egan, and my wife is Marge, and her former name was Marge Peterson.
You have 4 kids?
Oh, don't forget the 4 kids that I have. 4 grandkids, and I now have an empty nest. The last one got married just last Saturday.
Hi, I'm Ben Marsh, South High class of 49. I work for 3M Company, and this is my wife, Elena.
Olson, and I'm from Wayzata. My husband, Bob.
And I live in Fridley. This is my wife, Norma, and we had 4 children.
And this is my wife, Joanne. And I am now working for Boyman Behringer, a CPA firm. And Joanne, what are you working for?
Abbott Northwestern.
Abbott Northwestern.
Don't tell anybody.
Terrific. And we have 6 children together, and we have 8 grandchildren. And that's about it.
Happy to be here.
Yes, happy to be here.
Okay, I'm Dorothy Johansson Moyne, and this is my husband Jack. And we worked on the committee, and we've been really having a good time, and hopefully we'll have a good time tomorrow
And
too.
there's nothing like class reunions.
That's right.
They are the greatest.
Hey.
I'm from Elk River, and I'm here tonight with my lovely spouse, Linda. And we're going to have a great time.
This is Roger Rood and wife Marge Rood, both South High graduates. They're still in Minneapolis.
This is my wife, June, of 45 years. Or it can't be that long, is it?
I'm his mother.
We have 3 children who are all grown and married, and we have 2 grandchildren. We still live in the Twin City area in Circle Pines, and
With our cat.
Yeah, that's about all that's left anymore. We live in the townhouse now, so.
We're both working,
Yeah. No intentions of retiring yet. Of course, you never know. Things can happen anytime.
Hi, I'm Fern Federle Hendricks, and it's wonderful to be back at our 40th class reunion. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, really Carmel, which is a suburb of Indianapolis, and I'd like to introduce you to my wonderful husband, Bill Hendricks.
I am also very glad to be here. It's always a pleasure to go any place with my wife, and we enjoy Minneapolis.
Thank you, and I will put in a little plug for my business, I guess. I'm a sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and absolutely love it. And once again, it's nice to be here. Thank you.
I've been having a good time ever since. We want you to have fun tonight, and there's not going to be a long program, so there'll be plenty of time to visit. There are a few staff members here I'd like to introduce before we go into the evening. We have Verna Long, our school nurse, and her husband Chester Long, if you would stand up. We have Dorothy Kinney, our physical education teacher. Now I would like to introduce Bev Freeman Hanna, who will give us our grades.
When I was thinking about what to talk about tonight, I went back to my high school scrapbook and I found some ideas. I found an old Southerner dated June 14th, 1949. And in it was an article called Farewell, and I'd like to share it with you. The strains of pomp and circumstance reach your ears as you realize that you at last are a senior, the day you have been waiting for 4 years. When you came here as a freshman, the whole school seemed to tower over you. It took you days to find homeroom 19, and then you discovered someone had programmed you into the boiler room. Someone had warned you that there wasn't any elevator, but you couldn't help being a little bit curious anyhow. You were quite shocked on homecoming day when someone yelled, "We want the king to kiss the queen." As a sophomore, you at least had someone to look down at. That is, at least until the freshman football player ran into you. Next year seemed so far away. Finally, you became a junior. You thought it was swell to be seen with the seniors. This you were able to get your first letter and your name in the fun column in the Southerner. And then you were a senior. The skies were bluer, the grass was greener, the skip slips were piling higher and higher. The class play and the prom were practically the biggest moments of your life. Senior Day gave you a chance to sing in the halls and whistle in the study. And when it was almost over, you and your buddies promised faithfully to write. But when it was done, you stopped to think, will I see them or ever hear from them again? And then you understand. You are looking at a different life. With new friends, new problems. Your old friends are in the back of your mind, but not forgotten. You are a senior. Good luck. Here we are, 40 years later. Reminiscing fun times, embarrassing times, problems that we thought were horrendous, and now we can laugh at them. We are all approaching another senior time. Let us not forget our wonderful class of 1949. Can we pray? Dear Lord, we thank you for this special time together to renew old acquaintances, to share our wonderful high school years and where we are now. Help us to strengthen the friendships that we have kept over the years and reunite some of those who have lost contact. Be with each of us this evening and those who could not be here. We pray in your name. Amen.
Let you know that we got regrets from other teachers, Elizabeth Davis, who taught home ec, Ruth Peterson, who taught foreign languages, Isabella Bremer, English, and Gertrude Ella, who you probably had for English. And they're all sorry they couldn't be here tonight. They all send letters of regret, which I won't take the time to read right now, but we do have them. I would like to introduce Doug Ludwigson, who is also a class officer, and he's going to have a little Who Were You activity.
I have this little exercise, and you'll see why it's called exercise.
They were right.
These 40 years.
Speak up, we can't hear you. Some of us are getting old.
You forgot your grease and formula again. Usually we have somebody go over the audience.
Best like in the classes, it's all right.
Are there any members of...
What's wrong with the tiebreaker?
It seemed that the pastor received the call to the church. The first Sunday when he gave the sermon, it didn't last for 3 minutes. And
why should I change?
Pastor, you're going to be our pastor here.
Sorry, there's none left.
So the next Sunday, the sermon lasted about 5 minutes. Again, the deacons called and said, Pastor, we would appreciate if you could extend the sermon a little longer. Well, this went on for several weeks, and finally, at the end of the month, the pastor got up there and went on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It seemed like it would never end. Dinners were burning at home, and finally he ended at about 2:30 in the afternoon, and after the service was over, the deacons came and said, Pastor, what happened? Why the difference in the length of these sermons? And he says, I was getting ready for church this morning, and I got my wife's teeth by mistake.
As long as this guy's talking about the clergy, I got a better one yet. What were the very last words Jesus Christ spoke to a group of Norwegians standing on a corner before he left this god-awful earth? He said, stand around and play dumb till I get back.
Now on with the exercise. We'd like to have any of you who were in any of these activities would please stand up as I call these activities up. Were any of you ever in a glee club or choir or in a band? Please stand up. Might bring back some old memories, right? How about, have any of you had parents who graduated from South High School? Please stand up. How about anybody that was on a male or female athletic team? Jack, you're getting old, right? How about the Honor Society or Student Council? How many of you had a son or daughter that graduated from South?
Yeah. Gosh, what's that?
It's really nice to see Mrs. Long and Penny here tonight. And I'm sure Verna Long has heard all kinds of stories. Remember when you had to line up in the study hall and come with your excuses on why you weren't at work? She always knew, didn't she? Regardless of what your excuse said, Verna Long always knew. How many of you had ever gone to the pool house to dances? Stand up. How many of you here did not graduate from South? And I guess we'll see the same people again who never even heard of South High School back in 1940. Is there anybody that hasn't had a chance to stand up? I guess last of all, were you proud to graduate from South High School?
I understand that Mrs. Long would like to say a few words to us. Seems fair that she would get equal time here. Maybe telling some class secrets here.
If I'm going to have to do this the rest of my life, I'm going to start charging amusement tax. First of all, on behalf of myself, my husband, and Miss Kenny, may I say thank you. This has been a most delightful evening, and it was so good to see so many of you. And the more I look around the room, the more I think of things that I thought I had forgotten. And I'll bet most of you are sitting there, hope I've forgotten most of what you're remembering. I'm going to try not to embarrass anyone, but I did tell Joni, and I want to say a special thank you to Joni Horton-Benton, who has remained our dearest friend all these years. Thank you, Joni and Stan. I told her I was going to take a poll, and I was going to have you all stand up and then say, those of you who never lied to the nurse may sit down. Those of you who never skipped school may sit down. And those of you who never wrote your note may sit down. And most of you in the room would still be standing. You didn't know I was going to be the program, did you? I keep looking at Alan here, and I'm hoping that when I need a good lawyer, I'll get a discount on my bill. You wouldn't believe this, but I haven't seen him for 40 years, but I've seen more of him than any of the rest of you have. Because he fell out in the cinders and Mr. Bernard couldn't take care of it, so he sent him up to me. Seriously, for those of you who don't know, I was in South for 33 years.
I was full-time, as you know, and I've often said, and I'll say it again, that I would have never made it there with some of the problems we had and serious accidents if I'd had not two good partners. One was God and the other was my husband. And you wonder, how come Mr. Long's always with Mrs. Long? There was hardly a day that he either didn't take me to the hospital, take some sick child home, go out in the middle of the night looking for some kid who was lost. And so he shared those 33 years that I was at South High. I had good times too. I remember Miss Tenney and I chaperoned a Blue Tribe meeting out at Lyman Lodge, and I learned to hate breadsticks. And one night we chaperoned a roller skating party over at in St. Paul, and all the kids were surprised that I could roller skate because I was old. Well, I'll tell you a story. Last year we went to the class of 48. Some of you may have been there. And so Jim Daly said to me, do you mind if I ask you how old you are? And I said, well, no, I am 30, 40 years older than you were when you were at school. He said, no, seriously, how old are you? So I might as well tell you too at that time. I said, I'm 73. He said, you've got to be kidding. He said, we thought you were that old when you were 12. For breakfast. And there I met Ellsworth Harple, and he couldn't believe that I could remember his name. And he said, Mrs. Long, you look just the same except your hair used to be dark. And I said, yes, I have more of it then too. Now I'm going to tell a story on someone else. I married a Swede. Doesn't look it, but he's a full Swede. Try as he could not get me to eat lutefisk. But leave it to Mr. Ludwigson and his brothers to sell us tickets for Ebenezer Church. And that's where I learned to eat lutefisk. And it's good to see you, Doug. And I hope your brothers and sisters are still fine too. Doug doesn't remember we were at his wedding. Remember that? Now I think that's all the jokes you're going to get for free. And again, I'm going to say thank you for having us. And God willing, we'll see you all again. Thanks. I learned them from the kids at South High. Quickly, I'll tell you about a young lady who always was against my smoking, and she'd tell me the story about smoke goes up your nose and burns your clothes, holes in your clothes. A couple of years ago, she brought a cartoon from the Los Angeles paper, showed these two old men in a rocking chair and a blankets, and said, Aunt Jenny's nursing home, and underneath it said, and for this we quit smoking. This is her fault. And my husband's going to cover his face and Miss Tenney's going to get under the table. But anyway, sometimes I do smoke. And I'll smoke till the day I die, I think. And I know it's not good for me. But after 55 years, what else have I got left? So we went into Byerly's the other day, and we go in there often. And I get a little disturbed when they say smoking or no smoking. And I have to declare my sin in front of everyone else. So this day, I don't know what got into me. I suppose the devil. So I said to the girl, I'd like smoking, please. I don't drink booze. And I don't take drugs. Can we practice safe sex?
very difficult act to follow, but I'd like to introduce Maureen Anderson Melbreath for some class statistics. I almost got that
Oh my, Verna, that is a hard act to follow. Oh, I can't compare, so we now have to get a little bit more mundane. I mean, that was just absolutely priceless. I have to say, first of all, it is just delightful to see you all here. I can't begin to tell you how pleased I am at the turnout this evening. And I think that I know you all so very, very well because I have been working with your names for 2 years. And I want to give you all many, many thanks for the two letters that I did send out. The response, the domino theory worked. Our class list is almost complete, and it was because of you. And so I do give you great thanks for that. And because of taking care of the list, I have culled a few statistics from it, which I think you might like to know. First of all, there are 31 known deceased. I do have that list out on a little table out in the hallway. You may each have a copy of that if you like. The latest one is Rita Busey, who just died this past May, the last of May. We have 38 yet who we do not know where they are. We live in 27 states. 24 of us live in outstate Minnesota. 70 of us live in other states. And 228 of us live in the metro area. And that includes 8 January graduates, and I apologize for our lack of knowledge of the January graduates. And Mel Stanko says he will work on that for the next go-round. We live in 27 states. 18 of us live in California, 6 of us live in Wisconsin, 5 in Florida, 4 in Arizona, 4 in Washington, 3 in Iowa, 3 in Missouri, 3 in Colorado, 2 in Virginia, 2 Alabama, 2 Indiana, 3 Texas, 2 Oregon, 2 Illinois, and 1 in each of the following: Nebraska, Oklahoma, North Carolina, South Dakota, New York, Montana, North Dakota, Ohio, Kentucky, Maine, and Kansas. On the table out in the foyer, there are lists. If you should want to know where someone lives, there are several lists out there. I would ask that you not take the list, but if you would like to find out where someone lives, they're there for your looking at. And I would encourage you to do so. We're pretty much up to date. I've been asked by someone to take a poll. Would you in this room like to have another reunion in 5 years? Show of hands, show of hands. All right. The next question then was given to me to ask, would you like it in June or late summer, like August and September? First I'll ask for June. June? Dorothy, are you taking count? Well, in Minnesota, of course. And, or August or September? August and September? Okay, it looks like June still wins. Some people felt that June was a hard month because of family obligations. But if, you know, it seems to have worked tonight. It's a marvelous turnout. In relation to my list keeping, I do want to ask you one thing. We're all reaching the years that we will call retirement or rewirement. I ask that you think of us when you make out your change of address cards as you move into different living arrangements. You can either send them to the Palmers or to myself or to the Friends of South High Foundation at the South High School. It's been a difficult task getting the list up to date. And as I know we're going to be making a lot of moves in the next few years, so do think of us as a magazine subscription. Give us an address card and send it on, because it would be really helpful to us who try to reach you. The next thing on my agenda is a birthday announcement. In 1993, South High School is going to celebrate its 100th birthday. There is a committee that is hard at work planning a celebration, and the South High Foundation newsletter will be your messenger of what is planned. I do ask that you think about attending whatever is going on. It should be a gala celebration. And now I want to bend your ear about something just a little different than from tonight. I want to bend your ear about the South of today, and I want to bend your ear just a second or two about the Friends of South High Foundation. I want to tell you tonight that the South High School that exists today is alive, and it is serving the students of today very well. The student body has many different parts. It serves, for instance, the handicapped students, Native American students, and the talented youth who elect to go to South because of its magnificent magnet program. And that magnet program has a waiting list at all times. This year, South High was one of 2 schools in the nation to have the first Russian exchange program. And that program will go on for 3 more years. Its basketball team, thank you, its basketball team made it to state tournament.
And won the consolation championship.
And I did hear that coach tell me, or tell a radio audience, it's getting there that counts. And I have it on good authority from a baseball player of the team that they almost made city championship. So they're doing very, very well. It's a school still to be proud of. Now the Friends of South High Foundation is a group of alumni, staff, both current and present, parents and friends, who 6 years ago decided that because of the ever-tightening budgets, there was a need to help finance those creative projects which budget restrictions could no longer address. There's an orange brochure that gives an overture about this. I want to tell you that they have a paid membership of 800. They have a mailing list of 10,000. You are now part of that 10,000. You will be receiving 2 newsletters a year. They give to deserving projects in all areas of the school life, and they give $18,000 to $20,000 a year to these projects. And here are some of the examples of what took place this year. Because of the foundation, the 2 top math students in the state of Minnesota, who were South High students, were sent to a national math conference. When the 9th grade was moved back into the high school arena like it was when we started at South High, right? Yeah, we had 9th grade at South High. The coaches' athletic funds did not follow them. So the foundation funds those coaches to the tune of $4,000 a year. The Dayton-Hudson Corporation uses the foundation for a conduit to give funds to the partnership program, which is a program for dropouts. And the foundation funds that program also. The foundation is a co-sponsor of the Russian exchange trip. It also funds the student-written and published prose and poetry book called The Window. For us alumni, they keep class lists, they will generate labels for reunion committees, They will find you a class yearbook if you've lost yours. They will find your long-lost friends if you ask. And they do publish a newsletter twice a year. So tonight I ask you, when you look at your contribution giving, when you look at the memberships that you wish to belong to, I ask you to consider the Friends of South High Foundation. Membership information is always available in the newsletter. And remember, the seeds that you plant today is the harvest of tomorrow.
Before I introduce the committee that's responsible for all these plans and the impressive evening we've had, I'd like to introduce one of the heads of the committee, Jerry Palmer.
Oh, Mrs. Long, you're the Phyllis Diller of South High School. That was delightful. I wasn't going to say anything tonight except for one thing. A very dear friend of mine for many years, Jim McGraw, sent me a letter, Shirley and I a letter, and he enclosed a check with it to say do something for everybody because I can't be there. And he's very disappointed. Well, Jim is a wine nut. He's a fantastic wine seller. So I told Shirley, I said, you know, the great thing for Jim would be to buy wine for everybody here tonight. So I called him the next morning and talked to him. He said, oh, God, that's a good idea. I'll send more money. So anyway, I talked to Jerry Brown, and the wine is from Jim McGraw and Shirley and I and Jerry and Beth. Like Maureen said, it's great to see such a neat group, and she asked me tonight, or Shirley and I tonight, if this was the largest group that we've ever had, and it's not. But it's a great group. And Shirley and I were talking about when these first started, because we have planned all of them, basically. And in 1954, we were waiting for somebody to come across with a reunion for South High School. So our first reunion was 1956. It was 6 years. That was at the Prom Ballroom. $250 a person. And we have really enjoyed, planning all of them. Last year, the committee kind of decided that after the 30th, we would only have one for the 40th. And all of a sudden, I start getting calls from people at my shop saying, when is the 35th reunion? So that one was very quick. We did have a good list, but we still had a good time. We had about 87 people, I believe. And Maureen came up to me that night and said she would like to work on a reunion, and that her and her husband had a business with a computer, and she would like to really get the list going. And between Maureen and the new committee of this year, they did a fantastic job collecting names, and I'm sure that's why we have so many people. So I'd like to thank Maureen and her committee for all of the work they have done. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. And I hope you're having as much fun as Shirley and I have had planning all of these, and as much fun as we have seeing all of you. Thank you.
I would like the following people to stand and remain standing until I'm done. Jerry Palmer, Shirley Buckley Palmer, Beverly Freeman Hanna. I'll stand up. Audrey Lyons Westland, Audrey Mullen Halseth, Dorothy Anderson Partridge, Dorothy Johansson Mullane, Dorothy Sandy Wedlin, and Maureen Anderson Milbrath. Thank you all very much. When Maureen was talking about basketball, I couldn't help forget my interest in basketball when I was in high school. Judy Seifel and I had a crush on the coach, Luke Mona. How many of you had a crush on Luke Mona? probably noticed our video experts here. They're called Rowway Productions. Order forms have been passed out. For those of you who haven't been interviewed, I think they're going to be around. And we have a video monitor up here where they're playing the tape. So I would check into that if you're interested. I'd like to introduce our favorite cheerleader, Jack Garrity, and he's going to lead us in the South High fight song.
On your tables, here's the cheer for those who don't remember it. What you forget? Green, you want to lead this? No. I thought maybe you might want to do a cheer first, though. Yeah. Sure. Okay. This will be S-O-U-T-H. That's spelled south. South. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. Give me a yes. 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 Me oh. Oh. You. You. Take. 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 Are you ready? All hail, you gallant tigers, we'll do it for old South all we can. Our hearts are always with you, our eyes upon you, every Southside man. All South is here to greet you, and cheer you on triumphantly. So fight, fight, tigers, fight, fight, tigers, charge and fight your way to victory. You want to do it again? Ready? All hail, you gallant tigers, we'll do it for old South all we can. I can't hear you. Our hearts are always with you, our eyes upon you, every Southside man. All South is here to greet you and cheer you on triumphantly. So fight, fight, tigers, fight, fight, tigers, charge and fight your way to victory.
The committee tells me that we have this room until, 1 o'clock, so you can stay around as long as you like. I want you all to know that I live in San Diego, which is one of the nation's finest cities, they say. So when you're in San Diego, my number is 451-0392. We have 4 bedrooms and we live on a golf course, so I hope you'll... 451. Okay. The centerpieces tonight from the committee, they would like the oldest person at the table to be able to take them home. So after discussing that, I want to thank you all for coming, and we'll see you in 5 years, right? Right. Thank you.
South High School. Just like warm, fuzzy kinds of things. Ramona just reminded me that I gave her a card that said Queen of Hearts when she was homecoming queen, and she still has it. I mean, isn't that a trip? And we were talking about going down to the McGill building, putting the paper to press. I was like third page editor. I got a little pin or something like one time from a national organization for something I wrote. I don't even remember it anymore, but I still have the pin. You know, great school. Great place to be. It's still a good place for kids to be because my kid graduated from there 3 years ago, and I'm proud to be a Southerner, and proud that my kid is a Southerner as well. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Jack and I were in homeroom together.
Oh, yeah.
Right. We have the best homeroom teacher of all, Signe Bostrom.
For 4 years.
4 years.
We were together.
Right. She was also my Spanish teacher.
Now, I took French, but I failed.
Yeah.
I was
she was like a
miserable
mother.
languages.
And we miss her, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
She lived to be 106, would you believe?
I wasn't aware of that.
Right.
I wasn't aware of that.
But I don't have a thing. Lou Mona was my homeroom teacher. So
you were?
I had a crush on him too.
Oh, yeah.
Spent every Saturday night at Pillsbury House for the 4 years of our high school. That's where I met my husband. And that's about all there was to Pillsbury House.
Twice tonight. I'm just going to move this over onto my friend, Bev Willman. Oh, all right. Joyce Wendland.
Oh, now I know who you are.
And now I know who you are. Now say a few words, would you kindly?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, you living in Jacksonville?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
retired?
No, we're working.
You're working.
Yeah.
What do you have, a resort or what?
No, no. A general contracting company.
General contracting. How long have you been down in Jacksonville?
Oh, 17 years.
17 years, and you left snowy Minnesota to go to Jacksonville?
No, I left Atlanta to go to
You
Jacksonville.
left Atlanta. Now, Atlanta's a wonderful little town. I work with the ladies from Jacksonville.
You do?
Yes, I do.
From Atlanta or Jacksonville?
No, she's from Jacksonville. Born and raised. She lives about a block and a half from me.
What's her name?
Her name is Wanda Korber, and she married a sailor boy down.
Oh no! Yes. you write a book.
And this must be your husband.
That's Jim.
And Jim, do you want to say a few words? You didn't go to.
I want to No, I came from out of the fields of South Georgia, so I didn't go to South High.
California.
In California.
All the way in Los Angeles. She knew I was in the Marine Corps out there, so she came out there to find me,
Toro,
see.
I bet.
No, Camp Pendleton.
Camp Pendleton.
Right.
And you met,
Yeah.
fell in love, and moved to Atlanta?
Moved to Albany,
Albany, New York?
Albany, Georgia.
Albany, you'll deserve it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you left the